So, welcome to the viewers of Data Quest. And this time we have a treat in store for you, something totally different. We have with us Arup J Paul, who's a multidisciplinary visual artist and creative technologist all the way from Hamburg. Welcome, Arup.
Welcome, welcome.
Yeah. So actually, I think I'll get straight to it because a lot of our viewers and readers won't know about what exactly you do. Creative technologist, multidisciplinary visual artist. So first, can you tell a bit about yourself and what you do to our viewers?
Right. So first of all, thank you, Sunil, for having me, and it's a great honor because we spoke offline about that. Like we grew up, having like access to the magazine that is like legendary. It's over 40 years old, Data Quest and PC and so on. And to be able to talk to your viewers and readers, I mean, it is a absolutely honor for me. So. So I'm actually an artist first, and then technologist the second. I would call it always. So I started as a visual artist, means I'm trained as visual artist and trained in a European kind of format, like to paint like a old school masters in oil and large scale canvas. That's what I actually schooled on. And then at the same time, parallelly, I navigate the softwares and the coding and so on and so forth. So I actually studied how to build the pipeline for character animation, for 3D character animation. So I worked in movie project, in television projects and so on. And so they are like how your character comes to life, like from a building a character, then it's a rigged character, and then the character it's working with the motion capture, and then coming to the screen as a live action character. And so that was my expertise, and so that's long time back. So that's where I started. I mean, over I think 2 decades now. And an artist, and then I painted and also exhibited all over the world. And I mean, a lot of my works are also in private collection in embassies and so on. And then I worked in a high tech environment, like in semiconductor. So semiconductor means like in your gaming rig or console and so on. There are lots of technology, lots of microcontrollers and module that technology actually drives the innovation for your let's say interactive entertainment. So be it like a game that from a large scale Lego game, yeah,
Right.
or Disney Infinity, or the game that has a physical and the digital connection. So those kind of game I worked on and built that, and that has a technology that is actually also used for Google Pay. That's NFC technology, near field communication. So how this technology comes into a gaming console or gaming rig, and then connect the digital and physical world and give really a good feedback for entertainment. And that was the kind of the key. So I bought my years of experience in gaming, and then connecting these dots, and that's how it was really successful, these games. I mean, there's like 50-60 million people plays those games, and extremely enjoyable.
Yeah.
And this same kind of technology also allows us to build gamification on top. Like, so more you play, you get some reward or some kind of a accessories comes in that unlocks the potential inside the game. So you level up and you gain
Right.
more magic power or stuff like that, and that makes you not only enjoyable the play, but it also gets you more rewarding the play. And then that's how the gamer stick to a game. And so those are other things I have done. And then moving on from that, I mean, I actually kind of step away from the corporate life, and last almost 7-8 years now full-time artist now building my own AI. AI means generative AI, but it's with my own model. I will later on, I will do a kind of a little studio tour and show you what I mean by
Sure.
that. So I I train my own data, own painting, the brushes, the composition, the color palette, and everything, and then created two different models. One model is actually working to uh, along with to build portrait. So that's the generative AI for the portrait, and one for landscape, which is my style for the landscape that I paint, really large scale landscape. So the generative AI now I can paint like basically like me, along with me. So this is two really large scale project I'm working on, and also it's not only just to me, but there are organization working with me to embrace this technology and bringing into to the viewers and large scale um, event. They also showcase my work, and it is the first time in Germany an artist actually utilized generative AI in a
Okay.
physical work. And that was last year. We had a big show, and actually two shows, and this time at NTLF in Mumbai. I also kind of give a little bit of the backdrop of how we build that and what's the future of the custom generative AI. So that's the part of the technologies.
So anyway, that sounds very fascinating, and you have made the transition from, like, old art into the new tech. And I also
Yeah.
feel that you're at the perfect intersection of technology and art for me to, ask the next question. How has art changed in the era of generative AI? And more importantly, how can any artist get the maximum out of Gen AI?
Good question. Very good question. The answer is simple, that I see generative AI is actually a tool. There is nothing more than just a tool, right? So, like an artist, let's say, graphic designer or working on a movie project, whoever it is, doesn't matter, it's all art at the end of the day. They are using so many different kinds of softwares, right? So be it a Photoshop, be it a video editing software, a compositing software, whatever. These are actually tools that help artists to narrate a storyline, and the story is what artists actually good at it, right? Telling a story, stating creating a moment, and that's very human. That is very core to our existence. Like, we as an artist, we can narrate a story, we can build a story, we can imagine things, and that's the human power we have, and nobody is taking away that power from us. And so a generative AI, it's a tool that comes into play along with your canvas or other softwares or other any tool that you use in a toolbox, just to help you out to narrate that story that you already narrating, or helping you to make better story or make it visually more stunning or whatnot.
Yeah.
But the story that artists can tell, that's the centerpiece, and that is the going to be even more stronger as we go with the generative AI. So more the generative AI will be adopted by the artist, then the level field, I call it, will be equal. Like, every artist will have the same kind of technology available to them, and it's much more democratic. And then the who will excel from that, it's all about your creativity, your talent, or your ability to tell a better story or a more engaging story that will elevate you from the best to the excel. And that's where I think the next years will show. And so the generative AI is just a tool.
Yeah. So I couldn't agree with you more, and that's very reassuring to hear. But still, among our viewers and all there, I'll just ask a couple of, doom and gloom questions. So first of them is, AI will replace a lot of job profiles and create many new words. Once that is in the world. But how does this statement apply in the world of art?
It will reach. It's like we are seeing some sort of a internet era in a different way, right? So in 2000, how the internet and broadband came and changed so many things, and a lot of people actually got kind of shocked or thought about, okay, our career will be vanished. And I would even go back a couple of decades even, when, I mean, I showed that also at the NTLF, that when Photoshop actually was launched, I think it was 87 or 88 or
Right.
something like that. A lot of graphic artists in the world, and even in New York, this is actually a recorded event. There was a protest of a lot of graphic artists went on a street and they
True.
strike. They did a real strike on the street, and they say like, okay, our bread and butter is like on the line. And people were also concerned that, yeah, the software is coming and killing the job, and everybody will be jobless in next decade. But guess what happened? The reality is that it created millions, literally millions of jobs all over the world. And and not just about few that who can have the software, but it democratized the whole process
Right.
of how the job creation was. Be it a small town, be big country, small country, villages, cities, everybody could access to some extent, because the also the computer, the PC got cheaper, and so the access of technology was cheaper, and that created a level field. And then, this new era of digital product and digital content creation came, and now we are seeing it a kind of another shift here. So we last 20 years or 30 years, we enjoyed the how the even the Google, then Google also came in play and created a huge market for digital marketing. And as the marketing was created, the digital content creation was actually a need. It was like a, going through the roof. So lots of job was created. Now
Right.
what is happening, it is a kind of, not only an steroid, but it gives a lot of other people an opportunity to get into this field. So the artist will be in a driving seat, will train a lot of other artists. There will be a lot of technology guys will come into the art. And if I go into very specific in the entertainment industry, let's talk about movies and television industry. They are traditionally, you would only see artist and some technician working. Now you will see studios will employ software engineers, hardware engineer. They will work together with the artist to deliver. So the artist will actually get even more elevated rather than thinking like artists will lose job, but they will get elevated. And then under the artist or in a team, there will be a lot of software engineer, lot of other technology guys will work and deliver the vision of the artist. And that's the kind of the paradigm shift you will going to see it next 5 to 10 years. So the human senses and human thinking about
Right.
storytelling, just what I just told you before, that would be so much more important. And then the team structure will be very different than currently what we are having. And with that kind of team, you will be able to deliver way more engaging content. And I would even argue the cinema that we see, like it is actually a two-dimensional thing, like a flat one, a screen. It could be also lot of dimension to the cinema will be added to that. Could be 5 dimensions, so you will hear, you will feel it, you will even able to touch something tangible, and all together will make the experience way more dramatically better, or at least exciting. And that's where the Gen AI will help a lot. And it will be also real time. There will be technology that will transfer real time. And if I talk about the artists, means actor actress, they don't need to fear either, because there will be so much need for them again, along with their digital twin to tell a story, that they will also even benefit rather than they will feel like they're getting replaced. So I'm very optimistic about the future.
That's great to hear, because as I said, all doom and gloom is there. So
Yeah, yeah.
you just
I
mentioned
mean,
about,
but we need to be responsible. We need
we
to be
need to be
responsible how
responsible.
we use the technology.
Yeah. And you talked of one more thing. So I'll talk of deep fakes. So like deep
Yeah,
fakes in the political world lead to total chaos. And that's a
yeah,
very bad and dirty term. But in art, like you said, artist who's aging or ill can authorize a deep fake. So I just like to
yeah.
look at the phenomenon of deep fakes. It is viewed totally different in politics and totally different in art. So if you could speak something about that.
for example, I mean, we are in a political election year, and
Yeah,
in the US, in the India, and so on, and in Europe too, actually, and the deepfake is absolutely talk of town, right? So,
right.
and easily you can have a deepfake that can create a chaos in the marketplace and
Right.
also create a lot of confusion. So be it a politician giving a speech and a deepfake video, and it can swing the people information chain, and by the time it's proven that is wrong,
Yeah,
damage has been done. It's a real danger. But as I said always, that once a technology is there, technology itself can create a remedy for it, right?
yeah,
So we have digital transaction, we have cyber criminal that is breaking that on. That's exactly why we have also solution to detect the fraud in cyber crime. And so the Google and Adobe systems and so many other working together, Microsoft also working together to actually real time watermark or digitally mark the videos or the content coming in, which is fake or not fake. And that will need a I think little, not only little bit, I would say quite a bit of work from the government side. So there has to be regulation and also kind of a streamlined process of what law can prescribe. I mean, because there has to be some sort of bar of penalty, right? Has to be some kind of consequences in place, then that the criminal can feel it like, okay, we will actually face a jail time or fine or whatnot. So that in place, and then regulate the market along with this all technology giant. It
right.
is not so difficult to roll out a solution, and it will be a global solution. So the
Yeah,
real time when the video feed is coming, let's say that is a fake with a deep fake video,
yeah,
it would be automatically flagged and then
yeah,
either switch off, or will the viewers will get a warning that it is actually a fake, it's not a real politician, it's a fake video coming to them. And Facebook can do that, Google can do that, Microsoft can do that. It's just about getting a kind of all this technology giant on a one page to create the platform to regulate that. And once it's done, it's a very minuscule problem, I think.
okay.
And now coming back to the entertainment part of it, it's not about deepfake, it's creating a kind of a digital twin that shouldn't get age or and create a kind of persona that we talked about. The Anil Kapoor already successfully sued, or Amitabh Bachchan has done it in
Right.
India, and a lot of Hollywood stars are doing it. They're preserving legally their persona, because once they are no more or they are not acting anymore, you could actually use them. Means you are taking an IP, intellectual property of their persona, and then creating a digital twin that will entertain the fan for a foreseeable period of time. And that's a good thing. That's a amazing opportunity we have, and we have it for the first time. I mean, this technology, without a generative AI, it's also still exists, but it's much more expensive and time consuming. But with generative AI, it gets easier and much cheaper to deliver that quality of entertainment. So it's I mean, very good time to be.
So as I said, I like your optimism and responsibility and solution. And one interesting thing you said, digital twin. So both of us could have our digital twins and gain
Yeah,
immortality, and they could interact with our descendants for quite
yeah,
some
absolutely.
time.
Yeah. And look, the Meta is investing like a tens of billions on a metaverse, right? The metaverse is also a keyword, and everybody's trying to do that. And look, the metaverse, we already had like Second Life. It's in, I think, 2006 or 2007 already was a big deal. The Second Life as a platform,
Yeah,
and that time it didn't work so well, because couple of technological issue, the bandwidth problem was there,
right, right.
the quality of the polygon was like low and so on. But now it is a really time that you could have a real hologram, real time interacting with the audience, and one actor or star could be, in a three different time zone and entertaining real time their audience, or their fans. I mean, that's a fascinating thing. I mean, think about Shah Rukh Khan is entertaining in Germany
Yeah.
and at the same time Mumbai, and good for him, good for the audience, right?
Anyway, so again, like since you're talking about such positive and stuff, I am interested in, like, you have made the transition. So say, what are some of the common tips, tricks, and tools that a common person can use to become an artist? Because at least in the olden days, everyone wanted to be an artist, but not many could be. But now you have an AI assistant who can help you being an artist. So what would be your advice?
um, uh, I would look at two ways. So I would still always recommend whoever. I mean, I said it in the interview also before that it is the best time to become an artist. But at the same time, I would put it like this way. So first, become an artist. Train yourself to become an
Okay.
artist, and then get into the technology, not the other way around. And if you want to be professional, so other way around, there will be need for, as I said, technician and software guys are coming into the art field as a part of the kind of the workforce. Yeah, they will work along with the artist. But if you want to be the driving seat as an artist, I would I would suggest, or I would actually urge, that you try to learn the art first and then go to the technology and learn those technology tools, or technology itself, what will help you. But what will be the core of you, that's the art, the storytelling, the quality, being an artist, thinking as an artist, and have that creativity, that has to be really a passionate thing, and that need to be learned, means in terms of you have to go back to the old school, like, need to know how to draw, need to know how to do a composition, need to know how to use your pencil to really to do a sketching very quickly, and put your idea down, and so on. And so those basics are even more important today than even before. So as I said, you have a choice. You want to be technician in an art field, or you want to be an artist in a driving seat to run the show. So if your ambition is high, you want to be in the driving seat, invest on your art skill and learn the art, and technology will come along with you. And if you want to be a software, you are a software engineer, you coming to the art sector, then you just get a kind of crash course how the art works, and that's fine. So your software is a core part, but then you are part of the team, but you are top is still an artist who will actually drive the chain, like, conductor of an orchestra. So you want to be the conductor of an orchestra, you are conducting the show. And that's where the skill or the real thought process of an artist is so much more important now than before even.
So that, I think that's quite good advice. First, go old school, get everything in order,
Yeah,
and then adopt
yeah,
technology.
yeah.
So
And that will really help, because you have to understand that just because the technology is there, that I can skip it very quickly, everything, all the old school learning of, pencil drawing or sketching, or really, it is hard, it's not easy to motivate yourself when you are seeing it's things are easy. Then motivate yourself to really draw, to know the lines and depth of a line and composition and so on. It is difficult to motivate, even for art school or university. It would be very difficult to motivate student to stay on a course. But I would suggest for the professor also to really stick to the ground and teach the student the basic very well, the fundamental of being an artist very well. Then they will really excel at the top.
and so that is like for the beginners and the common citizen. What about for someone who's a,
Yeah.
veteran professional artist but who's resisting technology? You would you advise
As I said, it's the best time to become an artist, because whoever is a veteran artist, already trained and already skilled and having a thought process, they should really follow the Gen AI and try to understand that, maybe friend with the software guys or group with the software guys, talk about it and understand how it works. And you don't, again, you don't need to know everything, because that is could be an quite a hurdle for a lot of real seasoned artists. You need to understand the fundamental. Once you understand the fundamental, and you being an artist, that will help you to connect the dot, and you could become a director to tell the story. And I would suggest veteran artist or seasoned artist to focus on that part, not to try to learn everything, because it is complex. I mean, Me, I wasn't fortunate that I parallelly had these two opportunity, and can throughout my career I kind of always had both hand. But if somebody being an artist for last 20 years and really good at it, for them to understand the nuts and bolts of the technology, it'd be a too much of burden. So I would suggest not to get into the burden and get scared, rather learn the basic of it, and then work with the team, have the software engineer to deliver your thought process through the technology, and that would be much easier and powerful.
Yeah, so that sounds like very good advice. It's good for artists of all,
Yeah, yeah,
facets.
absolutely, absolutely. I mean, don't get scared that just because the technology is super complex or it's too late to get into the full depth of the technology could like stop you to do that. It is actually beneficial, and there are so many software engineer almost bit of overload. They are bored in other job. You can actually motivate them to come to the more of a creation job, which I believe the payment even better, in terms of earning opportunity, and then make a team, like-minded team, and then try to deliver the storytelling, the quality of the understanding of an artist through those help of a technician. And then that it's a match made in heaven on that. Like, it is very good way to deliver the quality, because artists will always have the power of the aesthetic of artistical thought process, and the technician can, if you communicate well, you can narrate that.
Yeah. And is it difficult to teach art in today's age? I mean, should teachers look at Gen AI stick? I'm sure they must be facing problems from students who are in Gen AI. How does it?
Yes, I would say, and that's what I think it would be a little bit. You have to do a prep work, that it is so easy to skip. It is so tempting to jump over, because it is not motivating when you see things are so easy with the around you, the technology, and then to go to do some kind of mundane, boring artwork lesson and follow them. It is difficult for student to young kids to adopt. But I think from the school, from the universities, I mean, you should have a kind of focus on that really the fundamental is the key here. I mean, you have to keep the fundamental in place, and one has to really follow, and that's how the excel will, I mean, you will be able to excel much better, because otherwise you are competing with technicians, and
Right.
if technicians are getting a little bit better, then you are in that level, but you're not going in the high, right? So I would say fundamental is it's a key.
But I think that's quite an interesting concept, because if a common person who doesn't have much, to do with art, if with the tools he can reach the level of an artist, what level can an artist reach with the same
Exactly,
tools?
exactly.
So,
Exactly. I mean, that's what I'm saying. So, I mean, I always say, give a very simple example. Like, you have access to a lot of cash, right? You
right,
can go to the best store nearby you have and buy the best camera with a German lens and put together. So you have a really powerful tool for storytelling.
right,
Now you have access to that, and a real seasoned award-winning photographer access to that.
right,
The picture that you are taking with that camera and picture is an award winning photographer is taking, there is a real difference. The difference is what? That's the artistic background and experience of the award winning photographer, and the journey that person has, that will make the difference. The tool is the same, you have
right.
access to that tool, and he or she has access to the tool. The difference will be all about the he or she, what journey they made, what experience they had, the artistic talent they have. The talent is actually a kind of a vague word, but it's a really the journey, the learning that creates the talent. You can actually shape the talent, right? And that will make the difference. So the tool can deliver the same thing, but the human behind the tool actually making it better or worse, and that's where the artists excel. And although the digital camera, everyone with the money can have it, but you have one or two very high quality picture gets an photo award, then others, some millions of photos are just manned like a normal.
Yeah.
So that's the difference.
So I think it's been very enlightening to me. In the last half an hour, we have like really packed a lot of information. I think our viewers will also enjoy it. And now, actually, I'm looking forward to that. You said you'll show me around the studio.
Yeah, I mean, let me
Yeah,
take the
that
camera,
would
and
be.
then
Yeah.
I so you can see these are the all the GenAI work.
Oh,
These are really large,
wow.
almost 2 meter,
Okay.
and they are all of them custom made,
Okay.
and
I see.
and and they are not a human being. They are
Oh,
all of them actual GenAI,
wow.
but none of them real.
Okay. So none of these people exist.
No, none of these people exist. And then um, I show you. This is my real work. That's hand
Oh,
painted. It's a
oh,
really large.
wow.
And then
Okay.
you see this one.
Okay.
It is almost 12 square meter.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a North German forest.
Okay.
And then this is actually GenAI. It's
Wow.
from my own
Okay.
data.
It looks like
So you saw,
hand painted.
yeah, yeah, it looks like hand painted, right?
Yeah.
So it's based on my data. So that's my data is actually able to create this. And we are in talk with a large organization. Probably, if it all, I mean, we are in the process of that. If all works, you this year there will be a show with this work. It's a concept actually, a project. It's called fastest growing forest. So
Okay.
the bottom line, we are trying to bring the forest to the city, inside the city. So
Wow.
if the project goes on, then there will be 50 meter of this forest wrapping around a
My
big
God.
area.
Wow.
So that's the power of
Huge.
GenAI. So this is also, this feels like hand painted, but this is GenAI.
Okay.
And it's all based on the data coming from this. So all the pixels are coming. This is hand painted, as you can
Okay.
tell,
Okay. Yeah.
and so the pixels are coming into that and creating that. And I have multiple others, and this is like, this is going. It's a already packed. This is going
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
to the buyers, and yeah, so it's a quite a big studio.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So,
it's
so
where I work.
you're surrounded by beauty, both natural and artificial.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, so it's I'm quite fortunate to have the studio,
Yeah. Lovely.
and it's also funded by the Ministry of Culture in Germany.
Okay.
And I'm one of the first artists, I mean, actually got funded like this,
Okay.
and working on technology. And it's been like over, I think, 3.5 years I'm having the studio. It's absolutely in the heart of Hamburg,
Yeah.
on the next to me, the Apple store, just the
Right.
right next to
Okay.
me. And yeah, I'm very fortunate to have this studio so
Great.
far.
Fantastic. So, any parting words to our Data Quest viewers? Last, anything you'd like to
As I
say to
said,
them?
it's an honor, absolutely honor. I mean, I grew up. I mean, I think Data Quest, when I had the first access, I was a
Yeah.
teenager, I guess.
Right.
Uh, I think I was like, I don't know, 10, 12 years old or something like
Okay.
that. And to be part of it and to speak to the viewers and readers, I mean, this is like fascinating. I mean, this is, I can't believe that actually.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you for having me. I mean, that I can say. And I would love to meet you again when I go to
Definitely.
Mumbai and or anywhere in India, like Bangalore or whatever. I'm talking to a couple of people, and I can see the
Definitely.
energy in
Yeah.
India. It's so much, and if I can contribute to the industry in India, any shape or form, or bring my show to
Um,
India, that's what also I'm thinking about it, and that would be an honor. I mean, being so many years, decade away from home, I feel like it's a kind of time that I should bring something to India too. I mean, why not?
Definitely. Yeah. So anyway, it's great talking to you. And also, you have given me a lot of food for thought. So maybe after 6 months, I'd like a sequel to the interview. Maybe in
Absolutely,
advanced mode.
absolutely.
I would love that.
Yes, sure. And as I said, these projects I'm working on currently, that if
Yeah.
if happening this year and so on, this large scale thingy, and I will let you know,
Yeah.
and give you heads up for information and how it's shipping, and would love to share that information. I mean, that would be nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So then let's stay in touch because I'd like
Yeah,
to follow
absolutely.
this.
Yeah, yeah,
Is this something
yeah.
different and unique, right? It's not your regular
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
technology stories,
Thank you
basically.
then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So let's stay in touch. And thanks for
Yeah,
a
sure,
great
sure,
event.
sure.
Thank you so much.